Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azri bin Muhammad Naini from MMC1104A. So for this video, I'm gonna talk about communication and strategy. Before we go into, let's go into with the definition of communication. So communication is when people share information, thoughts and emotions using words, gestures, and symbols or other ways. It's important for learning, connecting, and building relationship. So the next one is principles of communication. The first one is circular. Communication process of speaking, talking, listening, or even gestures that will be repeated. The second one is complex. Means we as human always think, understand, and react differently, so there will be more and different outcome. And the next one is continuous, means communication that never ends. The fourth one is dynamic, means that communication that is always undergoing change and will not be in a fixed way. And the fifth one is unrepeatable, means communication that we experience differently. And the last one is irreversible, means that things that it cannot be changed because it already passed. So the next one is levels of communication. We have 4 levels. The first one is intrapersonal communication. This involves communication within ourselves. It includes self-talk, inner dialogue, and reflection. And the second one is interpersonal communication. This refers to communication between 2 or more individuals. The third one is organizational communication. This encompasses communication within an organization. It includes both formal communication, such as memos, emails, and official meetings. And the last one is mass or public communication. This involves communication from one source to a large, diverse audience. It includes forms of communication such as television, radios, newspapers, magazines, social media, and public speeches. So the next one is barriers of communication. We have 2, which is the first one is physiological barriers, refer to obstacles in communication that arise from physical factors such as hearing impairments, speech difficulties, or even physical distance between communications. And the second one is psychological barriers. On the other hand, are related to mental state or mindset of individuals involved in communication strategy. So the first one is sender, the individual or entity originating the message, and the second one is receiver, the intended audience or recipient of the message. Message, the information, ideas, or emotions being conveyed by the sender to the receiver. It can be verbal, written, visual, or nonverbal. And the fourth one is medium, the channel through which the message is transmitted, such as face-to-face conversation or through email. And the fifth one is code, the system of symbols, words, or gestures used to encode and decode the message. And the sixth one is feedback, the response or reaction from the receiver to the sender's message. And the seventh one is noise, any interference or distortion that disrupt the communication process. Can be physical noise, semantic noise, or psychological noise. And the last one is effect, the impact of outcome of the communication on the receiver. It can be include changes in attitudes, behaviors, or understanding. So for successful strategic communication, we have 6 key points, which are: the first one is link your message to the strategy and goals of the organization, attract the attention of your intended audience. The third one is explain your position in terms that we understand and accept. The fourth one is motivate your audience to accept and act on your message. The fifth one is inoculate them against contrary messages and positions. And the last one is manage audience expectation. Last but not least, for crisis communication involves understanding what constitutes a crisis, which would be anything from a natural disaster to a product recall or a PR scandal. Here are Adri's Putnam's 5 rules for managers approaching crisis communication, which is: the first one is develop a detailed crisis management action plan, which includes thorough research. The second one is set specific objectives and principles to guide crisis response. And the third one is establish a crisis control team to coordinate efforts effectively. And the fourth one is ensure consistency by speaking with one voice across all communications. And the last one is prioritize crisis training to prepare the team for effective response.